Hi and welcome to one more episode at LPTELI. Today we will see the first part of an interesting interview that I had with my dear friend Alessio Michelini in Dublin, and we were talking about the differences between web pages and desktop applications. I hope you will enjoy it. So, let me start this as well, and let's forget about this now. And tell me, you have what, 20 years of experience on building software?
Almost, yeah, like 20, yeah. Professionally, you would say 17.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my goal.
Have you built any apps?
You have to understand and know what you mean by apps.
I have no idea.
That's the problem because I'm a web developer.
Mm-hmm.
So a web developer must be building past websites or web applications. So there's a big distinction between an app that could be an app that goes on your phone or your computer, or a web service or a website, something. They're kind of different things. Still developing, but it's different terms, kind of different separation.
So an app that we would meet in App Store, something that we have to download in our phone to use. This is one case, and the other case is where we can simply go to a web page and then do some things there. And okay, what are the differences between the two cases? According to the users that can use it, because I imagine that it's much easier to use a website app than downloading something from the App Store. So why do we have the other option as well?
What do you mean, like why we have the option?
Why someone to build an app in
because it depends what you need to do with the app. Because for example, if you want to do a video game, then you need the app. You need to actually work with the source code of. You need, for example, if you build like a video game, you're going to use like Swift or whatever for use for Cocoa for an iPhone application. But then you need to use another different language like Kotlin, I think it's called, or essentially Java, or used to be, for Android. So then if you want to build an app again for a desktop computer, then it's a completely different story. Then you can use several languages, several systems, or whatever. But it always depends. The problem of building apps is that when you want to do like a desktop application, you have to first figure out what's your target. If it's your target, it's going to be an app for macOS, or an app for Windows, or an app for Linux. And because all of them are different, and all of them run in different ways, so you can't. If is using traditional languages like desktop languages, it's next to impossible to have something that works with the same code everywhere.
Is it
unless use maybe a Java application or something like that, but that's another story.
Is it fair to say that if you want to build something more light and easy that will do basic things, do a website app, and if you really want to do some jobs like harvest some data, use more complicated models, or create objects, I don't know, create a desktop app?
Yeah, but it's a bit more complex than that, because like in a web application, I describe it. Even then, there's different ways to do it, because you can simply do like a progressive app, which is literally a website that you can link onto your phone, creating a button, then an icon that you press, and essentially just a short link, and then it's literally a website. But the problem with that one, if for example, if you have no internet connection, for you there's no way to interact with it.
Okay.
So the reason why you want to do, for example, like a proper application is then you can have your app installed on your device, on your computer, on your phone or tablet or whatever, and the app lives there. You still have the problem that if you want to interact with the internet or not, because you can have like a local database that you can save information on your device, on your computer.
This helps a lot.
Yeah. That's one of the many problems you
do.
could have. You know, it's something that it's not that easy to say this is always better, this is always better this way. It also always depends on what you need to do, what your app is going to do.
Mm-hmm.
So, and there's many ways to build the same thing.
Could we go from a web app to a desktop app or the opposite?
They have to rebuild. It has to be rebuilt completely.
Okay, completely. There is no an easy way that to take your code and just.
There are like some software, for example, like I don't know if they are still used. I don't do much mobile, but there are some software that actually take your code written in JavaScript and then it converts it to whatever the target application is going to be, like for Android, for iOS, for a desktop. There are other solutions where they create a wrapper, for example. There's one called Electron.js, where you can build your application using JavaScript, and then Electron create like a bundle of like a wrapper around it that runs essentially Chrome, and you inside your software works like a normal web page, and then outside essentially there's a few technology behind, but essentially you can use it on normal software installing your machine, and this one actually can create the different versions, one for Windows, one for Mac OS, one for Ubuntu, but again this is just for desktop. For mobile you have other solutions like Meteor.js, other things that do a similar job essentially.
So what I understand is that if you want to interact with the user, it's better to create a website app, and maybe
it's the easiest. It's probably.
Can you collect data through a website app?
Yeah, as long as you have internet connection, you can. There's some ways you can actually store data using like your browser essentially, because your browser, Chrome, Firefox, whatever, they have their internal database that you can access. But then you have the problem with the synchronization of data. So if you store data there, the moment you go back online, you need to synchronize with whatever API service you have. So.
What tools can we use in one and in the other case, and how different is the procedure of building the interface? Because in my mind, if you have a desktop app, you have to build the whole interface from scratch. While in a website app, are there some tools that help you in this in order? Like you don't have to learn a computer language to create all of these little buttons and.
Well, they're kind in some ways similar. Like for example, if you build a desktop app, it's not that you have actually to start to build every button. You have like toolkits or a software, for example, like on Mac OS you use Xcode. Xcode actually it's what you would use if you want to build a native application for Mac OS and iOS. So, and this will give you like stuff like, give me a grid, give me like a button or a drop down or stuff.
It has functions.
It has functions. Yeah. But you can take a button, drag it into your interface as like an interface builder, or you can go the complete code way where you actually code everything, even the interface. But there's generally like, I would say it's probably easier for basic stuff just to use the interface, and then you can link all this interface, like when you press a button to execute a function, this function do whatever, show on an image, show something else or whatever.
And in the website?
Website is similar. So website you can use a web framework, like very popular one was like for example Bootstrap or Semantic UI, or depends also again in which library framework you want to use.
These are languages.
These are like frameworks or libraries that essentially what they'll do, they'll simplify your UI essentially.
I hope you like this interview. For the next part of this interview, stay tuned in my channel. Till then, stay curious and accept challenges. Bye!